Oh boy, here we go. Chas McCormick should be an all-star! Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 42 of the regular season, where the Astros win 7-3 over the Chicago Cubs in a painless game. Genuinely, just a painless game. It was the Astros, better team, beat the worst team. It was stress-free. It was great. It was beautiful. They won their third straight series. It felt great. Like, it was tied for a few innings, but it never really felt like it was going to get away from them. They just felt like the better team through and through, and they were the better team through and through. We'll start with pitching, because there's a certain player on offense that I want to talk about at length, and, I mean, you already know who that is going to be. You knew where this video was going to go before you even clicked on it, let's be honest. Anyway, starting with pitching, Christian Javier. Good night! It was good. It wasn't a masterpiece. It wasn't this incredible thing to write home about, but it was a good night. 6 innings of work, 5 strikeouts, I think 9 swings and misses for Javier. Let me double check that. 10, excuse me. 5 hard hit balls in 6 innings is fine. You would have liked the strikeout number and the swing and miss number a little bit higher, but everything else was fine. Only gave up 2 hits in 6 innings of work. The 1 run, the home run to Matt Mervis. It was a good night for Javier. It just wasn't the incredible, like, strikeout piled up game that we're sort of accustomed to with Javi, but it was a good evening. Maton falls into a very similar category to Javier because a pair of hard hit balls and the hit given up ain't great, but picked up a pair of strikeouts and didn't give up any runs or walks in his inning of work, so it was a good outing for Phil Maton. Matt Gage would enter in the 8th and end up finishing the game off, going 2 innings, giving up 2 runs. Both of them were earned with 3 hits, a pair of hard hit balls, but got 3 strikeouts, so that's a positive. It was a garbage time pitcher in a garbage time moment. I'm not saying that he is a bad pitcher. I'm saying it was garbage time during the game, which I will say, it's very nice that the Astros had a game in which a garbage time pitcher was used, and it was because they scored enough runs to get it to that point. That was really refreshing, because a lot of those recently have been vice versa. And as for the Astros this evening, offensively speaking, it was death by 1,000 doubles. Mauricio Dubon leads off the game with a double. Alex Bregman grounds out to move him over to third base, and then a wild pitch allows him to score to get the Astros' first run on the board. And then you go to the 4th inning. Bregman gets hit by a pitch, and you go, oh no, hopefully there's nothing serious, and it wasn't. He stayed in the game. He was perfectly fine. Yordan Alvarez with a big old double to make it a 2-1 Astros lead. Kyle Tucker would then double to make it a 3-1 Astros lead. Jose Abreu would strike out, and Jeremy Pena would ground out, which isn't great to put 2 outs in the inning, but Corey Julks would double to make it a 4-1 Astros lead, and Chas McCormick, we're going to come back to him, would double in the inning to make it a 5-1 Houston lead to cap off a 4-run inning. And then in the 7th inning, as a little bit more insurance, Martin Maldonado draws a walk, Mauricio Dubon doubles to move him over to third, Alex Bregman with a sac fly to make it 6-1, and Yordan Alvarez with an RBI single to make it 7-1. And then, obviously, the 2-run shot in the 9th inning given up by Matt Gage would make it 7-3, and that would be your final score. To go over the offense, Mauricio Dubon was fantastic with 2 doubles and 2 runs scored. Him being as good as he is just so freaking weird, man. I don't even know what to tell you. Yordan Alvarez with a pair of base hits as well, including an RBI double. And Alex Bregman had maybe the best 0-for-1 night you could have, because he drew a walk, had a sac fly, had a hit by pitch that sparked the big run-scoring inning for the Astros in this game, and the O in his offer was a ground out that moved Mauricio Dubon over to third to get the game's first run. It might be the most productive 0-for-1 night I have ever seen. And now we enter the Chas McCormick portion of the event, where we talk about him. Another multi-hit evening, his 2nd of the series against the Cubs, and just a insane catch in center field. And there is a question of, did it go off the wall and then into his glove? And me personally, I think it might have. And so I praise him for a great catch and effort, and also a great job selling it. Chas McCormick has a 127 WRC plus in mid-May, guys. And he was one of the players that on my preseason prediction I put as might have that 120 or above WRC plus. And people thought it might be a stretch that Chas McCormick would do that. I felt good about it. And he has really rewarded my thought of that. Chas McCormick is slashing 268, 349, 464. A 127 WRC plus. He already has .5 WAR, which might not sound like a lot, but that's only in 15 games this season for Chas McCormick. And he's second on the team in outs above average. He has 2 in 15 games. And that's not even counting tonight. It might go up. He has a perfect success rate on Baseball Savant in center field. He has not missed a play yet in center. And I understand that sample size is very, very important. That is not lost on me. He has a 127 WRC+. Kyle Tucker has a 114. I am not going to say something insane like Chas McCormick is better than Kyle Tucker, because you can look at underlying statistics and see that Tucker probably should be hitting a little bit better than he is, and that McCormick might be getting punching a little bit above his weight. But my point being, by just the straight-up hitting metrics, not the expected numbers, by the actual baseline numbers right now, Chas McCormick is having a better start to the season than Kyle Tucker in every metric. In OPS, in WRC+, in outs above average. McCormick is positive in every defensive fielding metric, whether it's total zone, ultimate zone rating, defensive run saved, or outs above average. I really only look at outs above average and occasionally defensive run saved, but mostly it's outs above average. He's having a fantastic season. And you look at the insanely elite defense that passes both the statistic and eye test. You look at a good bat. A borderline 130 WRC+ is bordering on all-star. He could legitimately be an all-star this season. Like, actually, he could be one. And all of this for a player who, coming into the season, for some reason, was still battling for a starting job, despite providing the Astros 2 above-average seasons in his rookie season and last year. Both seasons where he had more than 2 wins above replacement. Both seasons where he was a steady bat in the lineup and did exactly what you asked of him. And, again, fought for that spot to be the starting player and lost it somehow on opening weekend after having a fantastic postseason run, including one of the most integral plays defensively in the franchise's history in Game 5. Excuse me. It is just so fantastic to see Chas McCormick finally get his flowers, not just from the organization, who seemingly has realized they made the mistake by the second his back has been healthy enough to get back into games, giving him the starting job back, which good, by the way, but also by fans who have completely hopped aboard the Chas train, and it is so well deserved for Chas McCormick, who just has grinded for so long through the minor leagues to finally get to the big league club, and has been genuinely good for the team since getting there. And I think what we're seeing with Chas McCormick this season, again, a person who's still making league min, through the first couple games this season for Chas McCormick, right? And I understand injury has limited him. But to this point, Chas McCormick has not just earned that starting spot as the starting center fielder for the Astros. He has earned job security for the next season or two. Until Drew Gilbert in Double-A, I believe he was promoted recently. Until he is major league ready, the starting center fielder for the Houston Astros is Chas McCormick, and it should be. I am done having this conversation in the offseason of, do you replace him or not? No, you absolutely do not. This is not just a solid player. This is a genuinely good, borderline great player you have in center field, and I am just so happy that he has finally laid claim to that spot. So tomorrow night, the Astros will go for the series sweep at 8:10 Eastern, 7:10 Central. The Cubs will send Drew Smyly to the mound, and the Astros send JP France to the mound, looking to continue his hot streak to begin his career. I'll be here afterwards to talk about it, but as for right now, that is all I have to say. So if you enjoyed the video, please consider to like and subscribe. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Astros.